You know, you can create some really beautiful contact forms with Lovable. I created 2 really nice looking complex booking forms that look great. They have all the options you need, plus a lot more. But how do you connect these forms to WordPress? Well, today in this video, I'll walk you through how to integrate your Lovable contact forms with WordPress using N8N. I'll show you how to connect your website with N8N that instantly send messages straight to your Gmail account, Slack, or any app that you choose. The setup is gonna save you time, keep your inbox organized, and it's completely free. So to give you a quick demo, this is my current website, and let's hop on over to my contact form. So this is my contact form that I created with Lovable, and I embedded it onto my WordPress website. So let's fill it out. So once I fill out my contact form, I'll then click on send message. All right, my message has been sent. Then in my Gmail account, you'll see we have that email, and this is coming directly from my Lovable form that's embedded on my WordPress website. And as a bonus for watching this video, I'll be giving you both of these contact forms completely for free. You can use our contact forms by clicking on the link in the description. You can remix them and use them for your own projects. So now that you have free contact forms, let me show you how to embed them onto your WordPress websites. Now there's 2 things that you need to have in order to follow this video. You need to have a free account with Lovable and also an account with N8N. If you do need to sign up, I'll leave links to both websites in the video description. They're completely free to sign up and you don't need to pay anything whatsoever. So let me walk you through how to set this up. Okay, so this is lovable.dev. Now, this is the website that you'll use to sign up and make an account in order to get our contact form. Now, this is the contact form, and when you click on the link in the video description, it'll take you to our contact form right here, and all you gotta do is click on remix, and then you can take the project and use it as your own. Now, you will need to have an account in order to do this, so you do need to sign up, make an account, maybe get a pro version if you want, and then once you do that, I'll meet you in the editing dashboard. Okay, so this is our current dashboard. A pretty cool looking contact form, right? You'll see we have a contact form, we have contact form information. Now what's really cool about this contact form is if I fill this out, you'll see information on the right side also lights up, lets users know they've done that. And there's also a form progress check. Here we have project details, we have the budgets, a timeline, we have some messages, users can upload a file, and even book a consultation. I mean, this thing has everything that you can need for a contact form, right? And on top of that, we have this really cool video player that actually pops out when the user scrolls. So you can make some introduction video and have it follow along when they scroll, which I thought was really cool. This is our other form as well, and you can use this for free. And this essentially is almost the same thing where you fill this out and it has this progress bar and has a video here on the right side, and you can embed any video that you want. So if you want to have like someone talking or whatever, you can go ahead and instruct the AI to add in the video background. And then we're going to take that info and send it to your Gmail account. So let's get started. Now, the very first thing that you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to connect this with N8N. Now, in the video description, this will take you to N8N. So this is an automation platform. So essentially what we're gonna do is we're gonna connect N8N with Lovable, right? And then we're going to send that information to wherever you want. So I'll walk you through how to do this. It's actually really simple. So you'll also sign up and make an account with N8N. So once you sign up and make an account with N8N, it'll bring you to your overview. Now here at the top, I'll click on create workflow. And this is what we're gonna use in order to connect our website with Lovable. Now, the very first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna create a webhook. Now, essentially what a webhook does is it connects N8N with Lovable to make sure the actual connection is there so that we can start automating tasks. So first I'll click on add first step. And here we have nodes, and essentially nodes are basically anything that you add on your workflow. Now, the very first thing that we're gonna add is a webhook. So here I'll type in webhook, and here I'll click on webhook, okay? And I'll click on back to canvas. So let me just explain what's going on here. So we have a webhook, and we first want to connect this with our application. So let's do that. So I'll double click on the webhook, and here is our test URL. Now we're first gonna use this in test mode, and then once it's actually working, we're then going to switch it to production mode. So here we have production URL. We're gonna take that, and then we're going to give that after we know everything's working. So first, I'll click on test URL. And for HTTP method, you wanna change this to post. This essentially is going to connect it to the next node once it reaches a connection. So first, I'll click on the URL, and we're gonna go back to our app. Okay, so I'm gonna put, please connect this webhook and make sure it's working when I send a message. And here is the webhook. Now, sometimes you might have to do this once or twice. So I've actually done this, and usually on like the second time it works. I don't know why that is, but that's just, you know, my personal experience. I did do this before I made this video, and sometimes on the very first try, it doesn't work. Just copy it again and just say, hey, this is the URL. It's, are you sure it's connected? Just to debug it and make sure it's connected. It's saying it's now integrated, and I actually want to make sure that this is working when I send a message. So let's test this out now. So here I'm gonna put Daryl at able.com, okay? Project type, we have our message. And before I send the message, I first wanna jump on over to N8N. So the first thing I wanna do is I wanna listen for a test event. So I'll click on WebHook, I'll double click on it. And then right here, I'll click on listen for test events. This is essentially waiting for the booking form to see if they're connected. So let's go over here and I'll click on send a message. Once that's done, and there we go. Node executed successfully. So now we know it's successfully connected. If that did not come up for you, take the URL, try it again. Sometimes with these apps, there is usually a mistake. It's usually on Lovable side. So I have experienced this personally. So just take the link, give it to them again, and then keep running it until it's connected. Okay, anyways, in this case, it's connected. Now, so since they're connected, what do you want to do now, right? So here, I'll click on the plus, and I'm going to type in Gmail. Click on Gmail. Now here we have a lot of options, right? But I want to send a message. So I want to take this information and send it to a Gmail account. So right here, I'll click on send a message. And then right here, credential to connect with, you do want to make sure that you log in with Google. So you can actually log in with Google by clicking on create new credential. And then right here, you'll go ahead and sign in with Google. Now, once you do that, it's actually going to store it right here in your Gmail account. So you'll see right here, once you log in, it'll say Gmail API, and now it's connected. So the first thing is, who do you want to send this to, right? Well, I'm going to send this to my Portuguese email address, all right? And then for the subject, we're going to put new message from app websites or whatever, right? Now for the message, we're going to leave this as HTML. Now on the left side, you're going to see a schema markup. We also can see the JSON as well. And then also they have table. You can use any one of these, but let me explain what's going on here. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and drag and drop stuff. So right here we have the body. Now this has all the information I need, such as the email, it has the phone number, it has all the messages. So over here, I'm going to take this and we're just going to drag and drop it onto message. Now you want to make sure this is under the expression, okay? So make sure it's not under fixed. So I'm going to delete that, click on expression, and then we're going to take this and drag and drop it, and that should work just like that. So real quick, that should be working. It's not green for me, but we're going to test it out. So once you do that, all this information will be now sent over to that specific Gmail account. Okay, so here I'll click on back to Canvas. And now we're going to try this one more time. So essentially what we're doing here is now we're going to see if it's connected to our Gmail. All right, so let's try it out. Let's go back over here and I'm going to put Wilson at able.com. Okay, able.com. Okay, and then we're just going to throw in some stuff here. All right. Now, before we do this, we also need to make sure that we execute the workflow. So we basically need to listen for the events. And also, we need to check our Gmail account over here. So it looks like I was recently penalized by Google. Yeah, that sucks. SEO is no fun. So anyways, let's go ahead and go back over here to N8N, and I'll click on execute workflow. So now it's listening for the URL. We're going to go over here and press send message. You'll see the workflow executed successfully. Now we need to check our Gmail to see if it's connected or not. And there it is. All right, so new message from app website. And if I click on this, you're gonna see this is a really ugly looking email that we got, but at least we know as of right now it's connected. So that's a win for us. Now you can go a step further here and say, you know what, maybe I want to get a message to my Slack. So what I'll do over here is add another node. Type in Slack. And I'll click on send a message here. Let's see, we got it there, send a message, okay. And now I've already synced this up with my Slack account, so there's nothing for me to do. But for send to message, I'll put channel, and I'll put a specific channel here, the N8N Lounge, and I'll put new message, okay. Now for the message text, we're gonna take the body here and drag and drop it, okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back, and now we can test it out one more time. So let's see if it's actually connected to both. So here, click on, actually we'll go back to our form, and we're gonna do this one more time. Okay, so I filled this out. Now we also need to make sure that we run this as a workflow. So right here, I'll click on execute workflow, and then we'll go ahead and run it one more time. So I'll go ahead now and send the message, go back over here. You'll see it executed, and now we should have a copy in our email. Okay, so it should pop up any second. There it is. And also in our Slack, we now also got the message here as well. So it went right to my channel. You probably don't want that sent to your email all the time because it's really ugly, it's fragmented, and it just doesn't look good. Now there is a way where you can instruct Lovable to send you variables and you can drag and drop every single custom field and that'll go directly to your inbox. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's say you want your message to look something more like this, where we have this message here, we have name, and then we have Daryl Wilson, we have the email, and then we have the message, and here's the message. And then below that, we have the actual booking date, and then also the booking time. So you can break your actual form up by specific fields, and then also add in your own text, just to make it a little bit more easier to read. So let me walk you through how to do this. So for some of you, depending on how the AI built your form, you might just get like a specific form where you have to just drag in the body and you get all that, stuff in one section and doesn't look good. So depending on how the AI actually built your form, you might not need to do this, but if you got the same body where everything was cramped into one specific section, it was pretty ugly, let me show you a prompt that'll fix this. So this is somewhat long, but I'll put this prompt in the video description for you, maybe like in an Evernote. So a contact form that makes N8N automation dead simple. Just drag and drop any field you want without complex JSON parsing or conditional logic in your workflows. Here I'm basically saying I don't want them to dump everything. I want them to be able to separate. So I need to be able to separate each field as an expression message in N8N in the schema input. Can you create each custom field as a separate field instead of adding all the fields in the body in the schema input? So I'll go ahead and run this prompt. Now, again, you might not need to do this because depending on how the AI built your actual form, they might have done this for you. But when I did it on some of my forms, I did get that problem. So this will actually break it up so you can drag each individual form as a variable. Now, this may not work on your first try. So if it did not produce the result you wanted, all you need to do is maybe just try it again. Say, hey, I want each one to be available to be dragged in the expression field. After maybe like the second or third time, it should work just fine. But in my case, it worked on like the second try, but in this case, let's see what happens. So on my form, we have Daryl Wilson at AOL.com, my phone number. We have this really weird message, right? Put some numbers there just to make sure we can see it. And then here we'll go ahead and select a date and time. And then I'll go back to N8N and I'm gonna execute this workflow. Then I'll click on send a message. So once that's done, it executed successfully. Now we need to check the actual Gmail node to see if it separated the parameters. So I'll go ahead and click on this. And if we scroll down, you're going to see under the body that it now separated each individual one. So now that we've done that, we can now go ahead and take the actual contact name, drag and drop it. Now really quick, I'm going to type in -br. So this is a way on how to actually fix everything. So this does actually accept HTML. So here I'll go ahead and put -br. Okay. And before that, I'll put you have a new message, Daryl. Okay. And then for this one, I'm going to put brackets BR. The BR essentially will put it on the line below it, so it's not so cluttered and it's a lot cleaner. So we have the contact name, we have the email, okay, bracket BR, and then I'll just put in the product message, okay. Now also, you might notice here how this is kind of hard to read. So if we click on this preview tab, we can actually type something in here and make it a lot better, right? So for example, you have a new message, Daryl. Here I put brackets, and then I put the name, and then here we actually have the contact name. I put bracket, which is essentially 2 spaces, and then here is the email. I just typed this in, so you can just like type something in here, and just to like let you know like what the email is. And then for the message, here I'll go ahead and put another bracket here, okay, brackets. And then here we actually have the booking date. So right here, I'll type in date. So right here, I'll put dates, okay. And then over here, I'll put time, okay. So I think this way is actually better to actually, design the email, because once you do this, you can then see on the right side how it's going to look. And you can always run a test transaction just by going to N8N, running a test and see how it appears in your Gmail account. And what else? We have the booking date and time. So it looks like everything went perfect. It also has the files as well, but we didn't upload anything. Here I'll put the booking time. Okay. And then maybe just like BR again. Okay. I think at this point you get the point, right? Now, I know this looks a little tedious, but remember, you only have to do this one time. And after you do it one time, you never have to do this ever again. So I went ahead and I added in a bunch of fields this time. But now let's go ahead and retest this and see what we get. So I'll click on back to canvas, and now let's try this one more time. Okay, so this time we put Daryl Wilson and wilsonator@gmail.com. So I'll go ahead and execute the workflow, and now let's see what it does. Scroll down here, send a message. You'll see it executed successfully. Let's go back over here now to our Gmail account. Now we should be getting an email any second. There it is. Here, click on the email and voila. So now you'll see everything is a lot cleaner, right? You have a new message, and then here is the first name. Oh, no, that's the actual message, right? So that's the message. And then this is the first name. We have the email, and that is the message. And then right here, we have the actual booking date. And I probably should have separated that, but you can sort of fix it and adjust it so it's a little bit cleaner when it reaches your inbox. It is hard to make a tutorial on this because we might get different responses from one another, but I'm just showing you exactly what I entered. You might be wondering, okay, so we got all this done. How do I actually use this form? Well, let's embed it onto a WordPress website. So let's go. So here we have our form, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and go to the domain here, and that's all we're gonna do. We're just gonna take the domain. Now we're gonna go over to WordPress. Now there is one plugin that you'll need in order to do this. Now, over here under the plugin section, if you type in iframe, you're gonna install this specific plugin. It is called Custom Iframe for Elementor. And with this, you can actually embed the actual contact form onto the websites. And it also integrates with Elementor, so it actually has its own module. So once you do that and you go over here to search, search elements, you'll see Custom Iframe. You're gonna take this, drag and drop it, and just enter in that URL. Okay, so it looks like crap still, no problem. Now, after we make this full width, I'll click on the module, and under the advanced section, I'm also gonna make this full width just like that. Now we can actually click on the element here and we can further manipulate it. Now for the height, we can go ahead and extend the height to make it, to make sure it's big enough, right? We're gonna make sure this is big enough, okay? Because I want it to look natural. Now, obviously guys, this is a very big contact form, and you can modify it, obviously, right? You can just maybe even delete all this content up here and just make this an entire page. But here's the contact form. Now, I also want to not show those scroll bars. So I do not want those to show. So I want this to look natural and organic, like part of the websites. And as we scroll down, you'll see there's our form. Okay, scrolling back up, you'll see there is the video. And at this point, I can just save it. There are some more options here like Smart Load, Advanced. You can also go in the style. You can adjust the padding of this. So if it's just too large, you can go ahead and modify it. And they have a lot of other styling options that you can use to, customize and make tweaks to your form. Now I'll go ahead and click on Publish. So there is my form, but we're not done yet. So we first need to actually put this in real production. So we're still in test production. So under the workflow, now I'll click on the production URL. I will copy this, and I will go back, okay? And then we're gonna feed this back to our Lovable app. So here we go. Use this webhook to send data and delete the old one. So I'll go ahead and enter this in. Now, sometimes if this does not work, usually there's a problem with the webhook. In my experience, it's not N8N. I have had to do this maybe once or twice, and after like the second or third time, it finally reads the webhook. Okay, so it says they updated it. Here, I'll go ahead and publish this. And now we just need to run a test transaction. So I'll make sure to update it. Now also over here, I do want to make sure that this is active. Turn that on. Okay, so as of right now, this should be an active webhook. I also deactivated Slack just because it already worked, and I want to focus more on Gmail. So yeah, let's do that. So I'll go ahead and just leave this on. Okay, so without executing the workflow, I'm just going to test this to see if it's working. But I'm not going to do it from Lovable this time. I'm going to do it from my websites. So let's go over here and I'll go ahead and click on a view page. So here we go. We're gonna go to our contact form. We're gonna put this in, Daryl Wilson. Really cool looking contact form, I like this. Here we go. All right. And our message, we're gonna put Daryl Wilson is cool, okay? And then we're going to click on send a message. Now, once I do this, it should send all this information to my email. So it's gonna route it through N8N, it'll go to my email and we'll be good to go. Here we go, send message. Now it might take like a few seconds or maybe up to a minute with this because in production, it's a little bit more slower. Oh, there it is, okay. I'll click on the email and voila. Daryl Wilson is cool. All right, congratulations. So, okay, so now you know how to create contact forms with Lovable. Then you can take those forms, sync it with N8N, and route it to your Gmail account on your WordPress websites. Yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed this video. So now you don't need to use those like plugins like WP Forms and all those like scammy plugins, you know, so now you can just go ahead and make your own form and route it to your email without having to, you know, go on a subscription for a contact form and all that nonsense. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to give me a big thumbs up, party people, and I will see all of you guys in the next video. Take care.